Hello and welcome to another time of Bible teaching. I want to do a short video answering a question that's come up in a couple different forms about the first will be last and the last will be first. It's kind of interesting because I'm about ready to record a video that comes out on July 20th in our teaching series on Matthew, and guess what we're covering? Yeah, that's the topic. So I thought I would do a short video just pulling out this little bit here because somebody's telling me that somebody is teaching that the first will be last and the last will be first means that the feast days will be, or the appointed times of the Lord will be fulfilled in reverse order. Let's look at something real quick. Give me a second. Paul told us that the rapture happens at the last trump, correct? Well, the last trump in Hebrew would be the Tekiah Gedalia. So I Google Tekiah Gedalia, and what I'm going to get is that it is blown. I didn't want to actually go there. Sorry. Give me a second. Why are you doing that? I just want to point. Um, it's used on Rosh Hashanah. That's when it's blown. Rosh Hashanah. It's the last of 100 trumpets blown. The feast days cannot go in reverse order. It's also there's also a teaching talking about how that um, that what it means is that the 144,000 witnesses are going to be the first ones raptured. Again, a troubling thought. So let's open up our Bibles and take a look at this. And we want to go to Matthew. Give me a second here. Chapter 19. Now, the parable that we're going to look at is chapter 20, but 19 is what gives us our context. You have to understand, why is Messiah speaking this? Why is he talking about this? And it comes down here near the end. The story of the rich young ruler, harder to get into for a rich man to get heaven than a camel to go through an eye of a needle. I always wondered, how do you get a camel through the eye of a needle? One hair at a time? No, the eye of a needle is a Jewish idiom for a door that is on one of the doors to the wall of Jerusalem. It's a little tiny door that a man can crawl through in the middle of the night, but an invading army with armor and horses would not be able to get through that easily. Anyhow, but Messiah says that with God, all things are possible. Yes, rich people can go to heaven. But Peter, after all of this, see, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Then Peter answered him and said, see, we have left all and followed you. Therefore, what shall we have? Wow. Peter. I could see me saying the same thing to God, or to Messiah, God, if I was in his shoes. What do I get? Wrong attitude. Peter still, and all the disciples have a lot of learning to do. Assuredly, I say to you that in the regeneration, the rapture and resurrection, maybe, when the Son of Man sits on the throne of his glory, ooh, that's the millennial kingdom, when the glory of God enters through the eastern gate, sits on the throne, and will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. That's Ezekiel 43, 1 through 7. But what he says, you who have followed me will sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. That's a promise to them. These are 12 of the 24 thrones that you see in Revelation 4 and 5. We spoke about that recently in our teaching in the book of Revelation. And also, I did a separate video about those 12 thrones. But hear this one out. And on top of that, for you guys, and anyone has left houses or brothers or sisters or fathers or mothers or wife or children or lands for my name's sake. Not just that you did it, for my name's sake. If you were kingdom oriented, bringing in the kingdom, bringing people to Messiah, and you gave up so much to do that. You bared your cross. You took up that cross and you bared it. You didn't worry about this world and you were focused on his kingdom. Those people shall receive 100 times, 100-fold, and eternal life. But many who are first will be last, and last first. Well, then he gives us a parable to demonstrate this, to show what he's talking about. Okay. The parable of the workers in the vineyard. How does it start off? The kingdom of heaven, millennial kingdom, is like a landowner who went out in the morning to hire laborers for the vineyard. Okay. The vineyard being the world, planting, growing, harvesting, trying to harvest fruit. Um, And the laborers are, the harvest is great. The laborers are few. Those people who are out, kingdom first thinkers who are out bringing people to Messiah. Leave it at that. I could go on forever talking about that. So if you go through the story, well, I'm just going to cut to the chase. The first people, it's a 12-hour workday from the 6 a.m., which is the first hour. The calendar, the clock, they don't have clocks on their wrists. They don't have watches. A 12-hour, every day is 12 hours. They take the day and break it up into 12 one-hour periods. So it's the first hour, the second hour, the third hour. The workday would have started at 6 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m., a 12-hour workday. Okay. So at the first hour, he hires some laborers for a denarius a day. Don't get hung up on how much a denarius is. That's not the point of this story. It's just call it a day's wage. Okay. It's what they deserve. He hires everybody else. The third hour, 3 hours later, he went out and hired some more. What did he promise to give them? Whatever is right, I will give to you. Then the sixth hour, the ninth hour. And at the 11th hour, he went out and got more people. So it came time to pay these people. Now, if this is talking about a kingdom type reward, like with what Peter asked, what's in it for me? What do we deserve? We deserve a lake of fire. We are all sinners. But for the grace of God, we have salvation. That's what we get. Salvation and eternal life. Everybody gets paid the same, basically. And that's all of these workers got paid the same. And what did the first one say? They complained against the landowner. I'd hate to be the one complaining against God or against Messiah, the Lord, one and the same. These last men have worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the heat in the day. Notice it didn't say you paid them more or you paid them the same. You have made them equal to us. Keep that in mind. But he answered them and said to them, Friend, am I doing you no wrong? Did you not agree with me to a denarius? I'm paying you what I told you. Take what is yours and go your way. Go on your way. I wish to give to the last men the same as you. Is it lawful for me to do what I wish with my own things? Or is your eye evil because I am good? Ooh, evil eye, good eye. That goes back to, I believe it's Matthew 6. Um, and good eye means you can see the needs around of people around you and you're willing to take care of it. A bad eye is me, 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 and you're only thinking about yourself. Okay. They should be happy these other guys got to pay. They got pay. Everybody's got pay. That's great. Everybody's going to get eternal life. That's going to be great. Not everybody. Few people, actually. Um, the last will be first and the first will be last. For many are called, but few are chosen. Not everybody's going to make it who thinks they are. But let's go to this first and last. Same thing he said at the end. And it goes back to Peter saying, what am I going to get? What's in it for me? Almost like, I don't know why, it's like, show me the money. No, you know what I'm saying? All right, so let's look at the words first and last. And they give us something revealing here. First in time or place. That's obvious. First in rank, influence, honor, chief, principal. Okay. Position. Many of the people who were working and came in the later years of the kingdom are actually going to be above those that were there long ago. Do we get this with last as well? We sure do. of rank, grade of worth, last, or the lowest. Hmm. Okay. Does this say anything about feast days of appointed time to the Lord? Nothing about them. Nothing. Is it speaking of the rapture? No. The last trump is Rosh Hashanah. It's the Tekiah Gedalia. It's the only time the rapture can happen. The feast days cannot go in reverse order. The 144,000 witnesses, did this person ever read them? Their ministry is all through. Read Revelation 7. Let's go there real quick. If you followed my teachings in the book of Revelation, you would know when it says after these things, it goes back to Revelation 1. I'm not going to go into great detail with this. Revelation 1:19, Paul's given a short outline. Write the things which you have seen. That's chapter 1, the vision. The things which are, he's writing 95, 96 AD. And the things which are the church age, which he is writing in. That's chapters 2 and 3, the letters to the churches, which are to, it's interesting, written to individual church, but each one of these churches says, to he who has an ear, that's everybody, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches, plural, it's to all the churches. These letters were written in the order of the Roman railroad, the order that they were going to be delivered. They are for all churches, describing conditions in churches, all time. But let's go back. And what was the next thing? 19. The things which must take place after this. After what? After the church age. Let's go to Revelation 4:1. Revelation 4:1. Oh, I went to 1:1. My apologies. Revelation 4:1. After these things, after the church age, I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven. Heard a voice like a trumpet speaking with me, saying, come up here. I will show you things which must take place after this. That's a picture of the rapture right here. What day is the door to heaven open on? Rosh Hashanah. That's a Jewish understanding. But this is not the 144,000 witnesses. That's Revelation 7. After these things, I look, making a point. This is after the rapture. These 144,000 as a result of their ministry, multitudes are going to be saved. Multitude. Verse 9, after these things I looked, behold, a great multitude, of which no one could number, all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne. And let's go down a little further. And I said, and one of the elders answered, saying to John, who are these arrayed in white robes? And where did they come from? I said to him, sir, you know. And a great answer. I don't know. You know? So he said to John, these are the ones that came out of the great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white in the blood. Their ministry, 144,000's ministry, goes through the entire tribulation period. Do you know back in Matthew 24, where Messiah is talking about end times? What people don't understand are birth pains are the times of Jacob's troubles. They get saved out of it. This in here is all of this, wars, rumors of wars. This is tribulation. These are the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of the birth pains. We're seeing the like ripple effects beforehand. What is it, the Braxton Hicks or the false labor pains? It's close. But this verse 14, and the gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, And then the end will come. What is the end? It's the word there is goal, not the end, not it's over with. You got 1,000 years of the millennial kingdom to go still. The goal is to bring in the millennial kingdom. Then the millennial kingdom will come in. What happens first? Armageddon. It's these 144,000 witnesses that will carry this out. If that was left up to man, we've got a long way to go. In Papua New Guinea alone, there are numerous nations or people groups or tongues, languages that they don't have the Bible. They don't even have written languages. Was at the Museum of the Bible, and they have a room that has like a Bible representing each language of the world, and its color is dependent upon, you know, do they have a language? Do they have the Bible, et cetera, et cetera? So many of them, there's so far to go with getting a Bible in the hands of every language in the world. Anyhow, um, yeah, no, the who will be first will be last, and last will be first really has to do with our rewards when we're in heaven, and that some people are going to be in a greater position than other people. Do we see this anywhere else? Yeah, one more place. Let's go to Matthew 5, and then we'll end this video here. Matthew 5, a very misunderstood. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches men so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does and teaches them shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Yes, there will be people in higher positions than others in the kingdom of heaven. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you.